What's up, everybody over there in YouTube land? Now we're up and ready on over on the YouTube. We're on Rumble, Twitch. Dude, you're all soaking wet. You're soaking wet, Donnie. Dude, look, I'm all soaking wet because he went out in his pool and he knows it's treat time. The Eddie Block Show. There you go. Panda. Eddie Block Films. Eddie Block Films. I stopped giving him his favorite treat because he's been itching a whole lot lately and he hasn't been feeling so hot. And I thought about this before that, when I was feeding him Fresh Pet, because I used to feed him Fresh Pet with Panda, and he started itching more. And Fresh Pet is mostly made of chicken. So I didn't go and... so I stopped feeding him Fresh Pet. And now only Panda gets Fresh Pet because she likes it. And she doesn't like the food that he gets, but he loves the food he gets. So... even though it's his favorite treat, I'm not going to give it to him anymore because I think it's making him sick. Oh, handsome. We got to take care of you. I know you like the flavor of that chicken, don't you? And I hear St. Bernards some St. Bernards are allergic to chicken. So, better safe than sorry for my favorite little boy right here. Better safe than sorry for my little buddy right here. Always better safe than sorry. Without Panda and Donnie, I wouldn't be doing as good as I am, right? I love my puppies. They take good care of me, and I take good care of them in return. So, how the heck is everybody today? Man, looks like the war's starting back up in Iran. I saw that coming, right? What else we got today? I didn't really figure out a lot of stuff that we got going on today, and I should have put it, because, I've been slacking off today. I haven't been feeling so good. I got a little bit of an infection going on, and the medicine that I have to take, I'm kind of allergic to, but it's the only one that works to take my infection away. So it's like you gotta weigh your options out, which means I have to take this Cipro stuff. Anyways. It's all right. It's a good day. My friend, my good friend Linda Hanna last night, she was texting me. And she's like, got a party at my house, Eddie. I got to go up my Panda. We got to go up to El Dorado Hills. Yes, if you've ever seen the show, The Sheriffs at El Dorado Hills, that's where I'm going on June. Oh my gosh, let me look. Let's see. I don't know if she posted it on Facebook this time. She texted it to me. Because she's like, Eddie, you need to come, Eddie. Are you coming, Eddie? And I always tell Linda I'm coming, but the problem is I got to take Donnie everywhere with me. So I don't like doing that. What's up, Gavin? So yeah, here it is. Let's celebrate life's blessings. Fun, food, pool, and music. Saturday, June 6th. Party starts at 3. Mariachi is there from 3:30 to 5:30. The food is there at 5 p.m. and the DJ shows up from 6:30 to 9 at my good friend Linda's house. I know she puts her address out everywhere, but I'm not going to put it on here. Speaking of that, Gavin, you should go with me. June 6th. What are you doing June 6th, Gavin? Not going to be too far from your house up in El Dorado Hills. You should come with me, buddy. Go hang out at Linda's house. We got mariachi, tacos. Somebody in her family has a taco restaurant, or a Mexican restaurant. So they bring out all the fixings for tacos. It's just awesome, You could bring your wife and your kid, Have a little fun with us, Gavin. Come to Linda's house with me. It'll be a lot of fun. You know how Linda is. Linda's the greatest, and she texted me last night. She's like, Eddie, my party. And I was like, I know, but because Linda has dogs, and then there's a guy, I think he has a service dog too that he brings, but it's this little teeny tiny, like a Chihuahua thing. And I was like, I have to bring Donnie though, because I can't go anywhere without Donnie. And she's like, Eddie, I know you bring Donnie. I want you to bring Donnie. We love Donnie. And so I was like, all right, all right. I'm going to go. It's going to be a great party. And she's like, of course it's going to be a great party because you're there. You know, that's how fun and amazing my friend Linda is. So I've got some great friends in my life, including you guys here. Like me and Gavin. Me and Gavin are good buddies. I've been to his house, you know. He's going to come up here someday and come hang out with me at my house, you know. We're going to go do something around here. Maybe go to Yosemite. Who the heck knows? But anyways, all right, all right. Enough talking about me. But yeah, Gavin, if you want to come, I'll text you the paperwork. You can go if you want. All right, here we go. California immigration judge sues President Trump's Department of Justice. She claims she was fired for being a registered Democrat woman over 40. You can't make this shit up. I mean, you're fired for being a Democrat woman over 40. You know how many jobs that I've been denied because I'm disabled? A lot. Because I used to be a plumber. You know, I showed up. You think that's a USC weekend for me? See, Gavin's no fun. He always cancels on me. Good evening, Andy. How you doing, my friend? But I remember. So I was in the union, you know, and I got laid off 2 days before Christmas. Because that's how the union works, right? The job was over. We finished the job. So they're like, all right, the job's over. We're going to send you back to the hall. And the way the union work is they send you back to the hall. Whoever gets there first goes up the first name on the list and goes down. They don't hire people saying, oh, Eddie's really good. You're not going to hire Eddie first. No, 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 no. That's not how union works. The first person on the list is the first person to go out. And, you know, I never liked the union before I got in there. I always said I'd never go union, but they offered me so much money I couldn't, you know? So that was like my final step, although it wasn't because that was the first time I joined the union. I joined the union a second time after that, but I digress. So I put up my application or my resume on the internet, and this guy called me up from a plumbing company in San Francisco, and he was a service plumber. And I built high rise hotels. You know, I did the plumbing work in high rise hotels. I put in new stuff. You know, I knew nothing about repairs, any of that stuff. And so my boss, you know, the owner of the company, I was good friends with, you know, before I went union, and I was, you know, it was traveling, and I just couldn't travel anymore. You're away from your family. I was getting really tired of never being home. I mean, it was great. I mean, it wasn't great pay. I got paid $30 an hour, and then $100 a day per diem, which is $100 to get a hotel room and food. So I mean, it was decent. It was decent, and that was in 2004. You know, so this guy emails, or I was talking to the owner of that company, and I was like, you know, I really like to start my own company. My brother owns a business. My parents own businesses. My dad owned a business when he was alive. And he's like, well, don't do what I do because, you know, these big jobs, it's so much competition. It's awful. He's like, if I were you, start a service business. So go get a job in service, learn the ropes, and then I'll help you start your own business, Eddie. Cool guy, great guy. I still talk to him, in fact. So anyways, I got offered a job at a service company, and I showed up over there, and the owner wasn't there. It was in the basement of his house, not the basement, but you know, if you know San Francisco and Pacifica, you have the garage below, which is like the basement, and then the living quarters on the second level. Almost every house in San Francisco is like that. Most houses, I should say, not almost every. And so I show up, and the office personnel were like, "Oh, hi, you know, you're Eddie. Yeah, he's not here yet. Just, you know, sit at the table over there, and he'll show up." So he showed up. I stood up. I shook his hand. I sat down. He asked me a couple questions. He's like, "Okay, before we get too far into this, I have a test. I'd like you to take this plumbing test, right?" And so I took the plumbing test, and he's like, "Holy shit, you only missed two." I was like, "Well, you know, I'm a journeyman plumber. You know, I mean, what do you expect? That's what I do." And so we kept talking back and forth, and he's like, "Do you have anything wrong with your license?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had some trouble in the past." He's like, "But do you have a good license now?" I said, "Yeah, my license is fine now. I just had speeding tickets." He's like, "Well, I can work with that." So he's like, you're hired. Come back tomorrow, and you can start first thing in the morning. I was like, cool. And I worked for him for about 5 years, and we became really close. He actually said, if anything happens to me, so the receptionist was his daughter, and he said, if anything happens to me, the company goes to my daughter. Can we maybe talk and work out a deal to where you can get the license, so we have a plumber on staff, and I'll give you part of the company and give the rest to my daughter. I was like, hell yeah, it was working out great. It was a perfect situation. So I started treating it like my company, and he didn't like that. But anyway, so we became good friends, and one of the things he told me, he was like, Eddie, had I seen you walk before I hired you, I would have never fucking hired you. And I was like, well, are you happy you did? He's like, yeah, you're my best employee. So this lady wants to bitch about not getting hired or getting fired because she's a Democrat woman over 40. I call bullshit. Because I had when I quit the union, because the union forced me to quit, because I went back to the union and I had surgery. And if you don't know, in the Bay Area, the unions build all the hospitals. They're all union jobs. And so they're very close with the union with our insurance plan and at Kaiser. So Kaiser told my union that I was not allowed to work anymore because my body couldn't take it. So I couldn't work. They're like, we can't take the risk. The doctor won't give you permission. And so I put out my application or my resume again, and a company called me up. And so we did a online, this was 2007 when this stuff was going on. We did an online, thing. And they said, okay, can you come in tomorrow and fill some paperwork out? We would really like to talk to you in person and possibly hire you. Well, as soon as I got to the office and they saw me walk in, I didn't get hired. I didn't get hired at all. So I mean, you guys can know why. I mean, I'm a cripple guy, right? So that's when I finally just decided to suck it up, try and start my company, but it was too late. I couldn't do it. So I got stuck in the situation I am now. But anyways, so this lady, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. But let's see what she's saying. So a California immigration judge has filed a federal lawsuit against the Department of Justice, alleging she was terminated because she is a registered Democrat, a woman over 40, and fluent in Spanish, and has ties to immigrant white rights groups. Okay, so who cares if you're a registered Democrat? If you can do my job right, then I'll hire you. I don't care if you're a woman over 40. If you make the right decisions and make my company better and make me money, I could care less. Fluent in Spanish. Well, isn't that good in California? I mean, everywhere you go, you got to speak Spanish. I remember when my wife had her thrift store, and she's Mexican. And people would come into her thrift store, and they start, hey, ¿cómo estás? Quiero como esto, ¿cuánto cuesta? Stuff like that, right? And she'd be like, and they're like, speak Spanish? And she's like, no. And they start cussing her out, because she was Mexican and couldn't speak Spanish. She's like, no, go talk to my husband. And they look at me, the white guy, and they're like, really? Because I can speak Spanish. But anyway, so yeah, it's a good thing to speak Spanish. She says, last July, Lillian was notified that her 2-year probationary period would not be converted to a permanent appointment. Okay, you can't sue them then. First, as a judge, she should know this. It's a probationary period for a reason. That's why they go, and big companies will hire through like Manpower or Labor Ready, because you don't want to have to hire somebody and then fire them, because then you got to play unemployment and blah, blah, blah. So that's what we call in that industry, that is your probationary period. Like I worked for this company called Applied Magnetics. It was hard to get in there. And then finally I got a job with Manpower, because I had friends that worked there. So I met the boss at Applied Magnetics. He liked me through Manpower, so I got the job through Manpower, and that was my temporary time. Within 3 months, they normally would hire you if you're a good worker, and thank God I was a good worker. I got hired. So that's how it works. That's how probationary periods work. A probationary period doesn't mean they have to hire you. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed a job. So the 14-page lawsuit filed this week names the Department of Justice and the acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche as defendants. Lillian claims she met or exceeded all performance standards and received the highest possible ratings in her probationary reports for fiscal years 2024 and 2025. According to TRC immigration data, she denied just 34% of asylum claims brought before her. Despite this, Let's see, she only denied 34%. Maybe that's why they didn't want to keep her. Maybe she was letting too many people in the country. Dang, it seems like my chest's not working. Despite this, she alleges her removal violated her civil and First Amendment rights. Of course, it's a liberal. Oh, I got all these blah, blah, blah. So her attorney, Kevin Owen of Gilbert Employment Law in Maryland, told local station KTVU. So KTVU, she's up in San Francisco then. Why is she hiring a Maryland attorney? That Lillian didn't fit their mold and that the actions taken against her were impermissible and unlawful. Well, it's their right to it's their right to fire you, right? If they don't like the work you do, they can fire you. It's just part of the game. The suit claims that the immigration judges who were terminated or not retained around the same time were overwhelmingly female and points to internal memos issued by then acting EOIR Director Cersei Owen in early 2025. Those memos criticized extreme leftist organizations involved in illegal alien advocacy, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. They have every right to fire. If you don't fit their mold, then they don't have to keep you. You are on probation. Once again, Lillian, KTVU reports, used to be the program director for Jewish Family and Community Services, which largely helps Afghan refugees settle in the United States. Jewish Family and Community Services helping Afghani. Interesting. And was the immigration program director for Centro Legal de la Raza in Oakland. See, I knew it was Bay Area. The complaint also names nearly 30 other immigration judges from across the country who were similarly fired or not converted from probationary status, including 14 from the Concord and San Francisco courts. Well, you know, they just didn't want to hire any of them. They don't have to hire you. I don't get why people think that just because you want their job, that they have to hire you after probationary period, and you can just bitch and, you know, sue them. Anyways. All right. Longtime Democrat Charlotte Mayor V. Lyles, 73, makes a surprise announcement that she will resign halfway through her term. Okay, the first thing that pops in my mind here is like, okay, why is she leaving halfway through her term? Could it be medical reasons? Could it be, you know, she's getting old and tired and just doesn't want to work anymore? Maybe somebody in her family is hurt? Or maybe she's just sick and tired of her freaking job. I don't know. But being a Democrat and with all this stuff going on right now, it makes me kind of wonder what kind of shit she's into, right? I'm not saying she did say anything wrong. I'm just saying that's the first thing that pops in my head. I'm not going to lie. The very first thing that pops in my head. Yep, see, look at that. The first thing that popped in Andy's head. Something must be about to come out about her. And that's exactly what's going through my head right now. It's like the first thing. Like, okay, I get it. But I wonder what it is, though. I wonder what it is. We got to have to keep an eye out for what's going on with her. Okay, just in, U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro revealed a massive investigation into the intentional downgrading of crime stats in the nation's capital to make the district appear safer than it actually was. We spoke about this the other day. Oh, shoot, you know what, Gavin? I did. I forgot to watch it. Maybe we'll watch it here on the show. Maybe we'll watch it on this show. I forgot to watch it. I saw it, dude. I was just waking up from my nap. Sorry. But yeah, we'll watch it. How long is it? Can we watch it on here? Let's see what Jeanine Pirro's saying.
My office started an investigation, Griff, in August of 2025, and we interviewed well over 50 witnesses, 6,000 separate police reports.
Wow.
And what we found was that there was an intentional downgrading of crime to make it look as though crime are not as serious as it were. And let me tell you, accurate crime reporting is non-negotiable. Why? It involves the allocation of resources. It involves making sure that victims are protected to the full extent of the law.
Oh, it's only 30 seconds?
And
okay.
It is essential that people feel comfortable where, you know, they live a reality that unfortunately is different from what the crime statistics are saying. And ultimately, President Trump, when he decided to make D.C. safe and beautiful, he came in, put the full resources that we needed to make this district safe. And what we were dealing with were crime stats that made it artificially appear that crime was lower than it really was. My office started an investigation.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not only that. They don't just do this. They don't just change the statistics. They just refuse to arrest people for stuff because they don't want it. They don't want it to show up on their records. If you don't arrest them for it, then it's not gonna show up as ever happening, right? And then because we don't have people stealing from Walmart every day at our store because we never arrest anybody. So that's proof that nobody steals. It's proof that nobody steals. Okay, let me paste it right here. Let's see what it is. Let's watch this over with all of us.
This is Steve Hilton, and he's running to be the governor of the state of California. But Steve is in a certain set of files, and we need to talk about that. See, Steve and his friends were trying to get E to connect them.
Wait a minute. This is Woody. What's his name? Woody. What the one who slept with his daughter, right? Woody and Mia. Is it Woody Farrell? No, Woody and Mia. Anyway.
To Woody Allen, who is
Woody Allen. Damn it.
A known pederast. As you can see right here, it says Steve and I are really keen to meet up with Woody Allen, and they think that E can hook them up because, well, they were friends, because birds of a feather often flock together, and they wanted to flock with E and Woody Allen. This was back when Steve was living in London, because he's from the UK and he's only been an American for like 25 minutes. So if you wanted to, you could vote for the elite British aristocrat who's trying to hang out with known child weirdos, or you could vote for Sheriff Chad Bianco, who's worked for 30 years putting his life on the line every single day for the people of the state of California. Myself, I would always choose the actual American who has spent literal decades in service to his fellow Americans over some foreigner who wanted to hang out with weirdos that diddle kids, but that's just me. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments.
Okay, who is this guy? Let's click on here. Let's see who this guy is. JD Delay. I've heard his name before. I've heard of him before. He's got 1.73 million subscribers. See, I don't know. I've heard his name before. I don't know much about him. You know, and he's right for the most part. I would actually go and vote for an American first. I mean, Steve Hilton's an American now, but I haven't done enough research, and I haven't been feeling well, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I haven't done anything yet, to be honest with you guys. I really need to do some research on him. I really do. I don't know what to think, Gavin. I mean, if it's true, hell no, I'm not voting for Steve Hilton. If any part of that is true, he's right off the effing list, right? You know me. I most days I wear my Kill Your Local Pedophile hat. I mean, you know, come on. So I don't know what to think about that. I got to see more proof. I wonder if it's in the Epstein files that have been released. Hold on. Let's see. Let's look up Epstein. Let's see if we can look it up in the Epstein files. Epstein files, Epstein library. Yes, I'm 18 years or older. Thank you for verifying your age, of course. Let's type in Hilton, Hilton. There's a whole bunch of these. Joining Hilton Honors, Hilton Honors, Hilton Honors, Hilton Honors. Subject Hilton Police, Hilton West Palm Beach. Shit, there's going to be a whole shitload of these. Hilton Group, AC Hilton. AC is a hotel. No, that's a Marriott company, though. So I don't know. Hilton Honors. Hilton Group. Hilton Honors. Hilton Group. Hilton Group. Hilton. Drive her to the Hilton, okay. Beverly Hills Hilton. Hilton Riverside. Hilton Santa Monica. Hopefully there's not too many of these. 725 results. Okay, how about this? Let's do Steve Hilton. I just don't know if he'll actually put Steve Hilton in it. Oh, wait. Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, wow. Hold on, Gavin. Look, I found it already. I found it. Let me... Dear Jeffrey, just in case your friend Woody Allen is interested, this is from David Cameron's office. Rohan Silva, head of Prime Minister's Policy Unit, and Steve Hilton, Director of Strategy. If he is London anytime soon, they would love to welcome him to number 10. Best wishes, Ian. Hi, a funny one this, but Steve and I are really keen to meet up with Woody Allen. I suppose you know someone who knows him. Do you? For latest news and information about Downing Street. Help save a paper. Do we need to print this email? Wait, where is it from? Jeffrey Epstein to Jeffrey from Ian Osborne. Look at that, Gavin. Look at that. Okay, let's look at the next one. You can't. Plus. On the Brave, how do you make things bigger? So on my other ones, I can just double tap and it gets bigger, but not on Brave, I guess. Dear Jeffrey, just in case your friend Woody's interested. Okay, it's the same one. Okay, hold on. Plus. This is why we call it The Truth with Eddie Block, because we like the truth. Yes, we would arrange it so that Cameron would be there for at least part of his time at number 10, sent from my BlackBerry. Just in case your friend wanted. Okay. So, interestingly enough, Steve Hilton is in the Epstein files. If it's important to you, I will strongly encourage. He normally only goes places that propose a help him fund his movies, hence Barcelona, Paris, Rome. Otherwise, he hates to travel, has not even been around the States, and rarely bothers to go downtown. He says New York is too expensive to film. Yes, we would arrange it. So, yeah, apparently Steve Hilton and Woody Allen it is not super important to me, but just something he should do when he's next in London. I hope he visits the UK somewhat frequently again. No, so sent for my back. So, yeah, it looks like it's true, Gavin. It does look like it's true. But there's also a lot of innocuous stuff in there at this point, too. That's true. That's true. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that I have innocuous right. Man, I'm having to look up a lot of words lately. Innocuous. Showing how stupid I am. Not causing disapproval, not injurious, lacking intent. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I don't know, Gavin. He's in there, and that kind of bothers me now. I wasn't leaning towards him anymore anyways. But yeah, wow. All right, ICE Homeland Security Investigations is tackling massive benefit fraud cases. And it's not just in Minnesota. Oh, this is not in Minnesota. Let's see. That's what I mean, Andy. Can't make heads or tails of it. But very questionable to reach out to one pedo to try and meet another pedo. Because, right, Woody Allen slept with or did something with his daughter, right?
22 care centers in Minneapolis tied to fraud investigations.
I can't get into an active investigation, but we are making huge strides with fraud. And it's not just Minneapolis. If you go ahead and look at what HSI New England's doing right now, they're working with the U.S. Attorney's Office up there. Huge, significant SNAP benefit frauds. Individuals $1 to $3 million that frauding people that actually need those benefits. And I think that's one key thing. And if you just look at overall the fact that we're focused on the criminal aspect of the fraud, it's going to be key for the American people.
Just last week, federal agents include.
Well, it's government. We can never get rid of all fraud, but we can limit it, right? We can limit it. Justin, the Department of Justice is investigating a series of suspiciously timed oil trades that occurred just before a major announcement by President Donald J. Trump and a senior Iranian official regarding the Iran conflict. The DOJ and the CFTC are examining at least 4 of these trades, in which traders collectively profited more than $2.6 billion. So they were shorting the stock or something. Interesting. All right, so let's see, what did Gavin say? Hold on, I gotta wait for it to pop up. See, I see it in the Rumble chat, but it takes a while to get into my software chat. He married his stepdaughter, raised her as a child, cheated on his wife with her, then left the wife for the stepdaughter. I knew it was something like that. All right, so we all know Mr. Nice Guy is a good friend of the show. Gosh darn it. It didn't work out right. Let me try pasting it. Nope. Damn it. Oh, wait, you know what? He sent it to me in a text last night. Okay, let me go back to my text messages. Why are you popping up over there? Damn it. Who is this? Oh, Donnie's in the house. Mr. Nice Guy. So last night, Mr. Nice Guy went out and did he oh, you know what? We'll just find it here. He went and was security guard for Ben Bergquam last night in Chicago area, and so he shot a video there, and I wanted to show you his video. I don't know why it's not popping up right away. Here it is right here.
Speaking.
And unfortunately, he always films in portrait mode. Here we go.
Welcome out.
Hi.
My name's Ben.
Hi, Ben.
I'm speaking. I was wondering, I saw some posts. I was wondering if you guys had any questions for me.
No.
No?
No.
I agree. He weeps when we kill babies. He weeps when we break the law. He
We
weeps
weep
when
when
we
we
sin.
kill people by taking away their insurance, their health, and let them die.
Well, I
That's
don't know
not
about
true.
that,
What about shooting unarmed people? Does he weep then?
Did
but-
you know
Which
Jesus-
unarmed people?
Anyone who's
Jesus-
unarmed.
I mean, he weeps when life is lost, for sure.
Jesus
Do you
forgives
believe,
the
let me ask you, do you
prostitutes,
believe
the
in Jesus?
lepers.
Do you believe in Jesus? Is Jesus your Lord and Savior?
I'm not
Do you call
telling you
Jesus
any of
King
that.
Jesus?
I'm not telling you.
Well, then
any
I
of that.
don't believe in your whatever you call your religion, unless you can say Jesus
I'm
is
just
King
saying-
and King of my life.
I'm just saying that.
Do you believe in
what's
Jesus? You're holding the
known-
sign.
What is known?
You don't have to. I'm
is-
just saying. I discount what you
I
said.
don't believe you.
We're
If
here
you think
representing our
he should
neighbors,
kill,
yeah.
if he doesn't weep when people are have their insurance taken away.
It is
then let
sad.
them
It is sad.
die.
But what's the
Talking about
solution?
insurance taken away. Oh my gosh, lady.
Absolutely.
Taxing billionaires?
Yes.
The ones
Taxing
that-
billionaires.
So you
What
do
happens?
that?
What happens
The
when you
ones
run?
who are in Trump's
What happens
pockets.
when you run out of
We gotta
billionaires
calm
to tax?
down.
You don't need to.
You don't need- they just
They have
keep-
all
they just
the
keep
they have all the
replicating?
money that we need. How about the
Yeah.
So, like in Russia and in Cuba and in Venezuela, when they taxed all the billionaires and they all are broke now and they have no health care. They have no. So you go to Cuba.
Russia's
Go to
taxing
Cuba.
the oligarchs?
Well, they did, and they did it under communism.
See
Under
that
communism,
guy?
they murdered most
That's
of them.
fashion.
So Mr. Nice Guy sent me that guy's Facebook page too, which we're gonna look at because he was threatening
Cuba's
Mr. Nice Guy.
fashion.
Pedophile lover. Look at, yeah, that's
I'm not.
Hi, thanks for
I'm not.
posting me on
Are you the one who
Facebook.
posted it?
Yeah,
Yes, all right.
yeah, thank
I'm
you.
actually not, and I'm not a white
Yeah,
supremacist.
oh, sure. Look at Make America Great Again.
That's right. God bless America. All right.
Make America great again.
You guys want to
You
talk
can't
about
handle
it?
the truth
What's wrong
anymore?
with that?
I don't.
We
I'm
are
married.
able.
Oh no.
What's up, Prom?
So which illegals do you guys like the best? Rapists? They're people. Murderers?
No consequences. The nonviolent criminals
on the way to work in our community. Very few of them are rapists. But when people have
Let me just calm you
people
down.
who have been
Take off your mask.
are not.
Can we deport those?
do
Can we deport those ones? Common ground. Can we deport the rapists and the murderers?
Yeah, by the rules.
Common ground.
By the rules.
By the law. That's what ICE
that's
does.
the problem.
All ICE does is follow the law.
No, they do not. They
You
cover
follow the law.
You're delusional. I did nothing. I was present.
Were you part of a riot?
He said it's
Were you
okay.
part of a riot?
No,
There was not. So why did they start pepper balling?
because they don't know how to use their equipment. They're not trained.
Look at that. They won't. How come they won't let their people talk to him? Ben is always very welcoming. You know, Ben's a great friend of mine, and I've known Ben for many years. He welcomes the discourse.
Up on their way to work. What's that about? How many people are we taking that are trying to take care of our community?
Follow what God made you to be.
I think our neighbors are here trying to take care of us. They don't need to-
Men are not the problem, man.
Oh,
Men are not the problem. God made male and female.
You know, it's funny how they mention. You know, it just made me think of. So yesterday, I was in a Facebook page here in Oakhurst. Some lady posted how ICE was out there. You know, and showed a picture of their trucks, and you know, I was like, and somebody said, well, good, maybe you should have bought them breakfast. And I was like, you know what, if I was just there, if I had known they were there, I would have bought them breakfast. And this lady's like, yeah, just like a pedophile like you would say that. I'd feel more comfortable around an illegal alien than I would around a rapist like you. And I'm like, you don't even know me, lady. That's all they do. They just want to say, you're a rapist. You're a rapist. They lose their point when they start doing that.
Yeah.
You're racist too.
Oh, no,
You're
I'm not
racist too.
racist.
Okay. Well, God bless you guys. Have a good night. If you guys want to talk about anything,
Are the
my
problem.
videos are great. You guys can watch them. You might learn something.
You guys came, no,
It's very
I
simple.
hope you can open your heart and Stop with the hate.
What hate?
The hate towards the immigrants in our
I
community
love
looking
immigrants.
for a
I'm
better
married
life.
to a former immigrant who became a citizen. I just don't like people.
Come in legally.
They're taken into detention facilities.
It's illegal. They broke the law. They broke the law. They came here illegally. They broke the law.
Human beings are not illegal.
When people break the law, they go to jail. If we crossed other countries' borders, we'd get sent right back, or we'd get jailed. Who knows what they'd do in other countries.
Yeah, no, my indigenous. I'm fucking Native American. I was here first. So you guys can go.
I was here first? Oh, man.
Concentration camps.
She was here first.
Germany, is that fair game?
She does not look like a Native American. She looks Mexican. Now, there are Mexicans that are, whatchamacallit, that are Indians, but they're like Aztec and stuff like that. This is this guy, he was following, he followed Mr. Nice Guy home last night. And we don't have a video of it, but so this guy, let's see what he's doing out here. Oh no, this is that lady. Oh, this is that lady. So this is the lady that was at her at her messing with Ben. Let's see who this is. No places worked, work in education, nothing about her. Of course. Let's see some of her posts.
When life is lost, for sure.
Community alert, West Town. She's saying where ICE is. 11:20. Look at this. They're posting. She's posting the vehicles. Black Nissan Pathfinder with their license plate number.
You believe in Jesus.
What is no?
Wow.
You don't have to. I'm just saying. I discount what you
I
said.
don't believe you.
We're
If
here
you think
representing
he
our
should
neighbors,
kill,
yeah.
if he doesn't leave when people have their insurance taken away, then what should
Look at this fucking bozo here.
Taxing billionaires?
Yes.
The ones who are donating to us.
We'll see Mr. Nice Guy over here in a second.
When you run out of billionaires.
You? Yeah, well,
There's
I don't
Mr.
care
Nice
if you
Guy
don't
right
believe
there.
me. I know where I'm from. You guys came here, brought your...
Let's see what other videos they have. But this guy was the guy following him around last
Hey,
night.
babe!
You pedophile protected piece of shit!
You need ice for protection?
Jesus loves me, not you, you pedophile protected
You need ice for protection? Fucking loser!
little dick cunt!
You fucking loser!
These people, all they can do is cuss. I mean, they lose their points right away when you have to start using language like that or calling people names. You just lose everything. You have no standing anymore. But that's the kind of people they are. Maybe that's why that's why we don't like people like that, because they're just outrageous and obnoxious. That's just my opinion, but fuck them. All right, election integrity. Minnesota Democrats just voted to block a bill that would have removed dead voters from the rolls. Federal law requires it. Minnesota is also suing to hide his voter registration records from the DOJ. Ilhan Omar amended her net worth to $18,004. The FBI raided 22 Somali fraud operations, and now Minnesota Democrats are voting to keep the dead voting alive. How is she only worth $18,004 when she is a congressman who makes $176,000 a year, or somewhere in that general area, and her husband has a multi-million-dollar company, but she's only worth $18,000? Just doesn't add up, folks. So let's watch this video.
Clean it up. If Oregon can do it, it's obviously not biased towards one party. Vote green.
There being no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll.
So it says, Minnesota House Democrats defeated HF 4240 Amendment A11, blocking legislation that would have mandated removal of deceased voters from the statewide voter register. So yes, there's a lot of yeses here. I think the ayes are, I think the ayes are going to have it, right?
The clerk will call the names of the members voting remotely.
Allen.
Allen votes aye.
Allen votes aye. Burkle.
Burkle, go ahead.
Burkle votes aye.
Burkle votes aye.
Why do these people have to call in their votes? They get paid to be there.
Franzen.
Franzen votes yes.
Franzen votes aye. Kozlowski.
Kozlowski votes no.
Kozlowski votes no. McDonald.
Here you are, Joe.
McDonald,
Joe.
aye.
Anyways, I'm not going to play the whole video. It's just a waste of time. But yeah, they don't want to show us their voter rolls. They don't. Why would you not want to remove dead people from your voter rolls? Why? It just doesn't make sense unless you're cheating, right? And I hate cheaters. All right, Carolyn Levitt had her new baby girl named Viviana, a.k.a. Vivi, joined her family. So look at this. Look at the cute little baby. Look at the cute little baby. Can you imagine something that big coming out of your body? Holy shit, that's gotta hurt. Jeez Louise. Congratulations to Caroline. Carolyn, however she, I don't know which way she likes her name better, but. All right, President Trump tries to set a course for peace while maintaining military pressure on Iran. So this was early this morning. This was at 7:27 a.m., okay? Let's see what they're saying on Fox News.
And it's the first time in history an F-18 Super Hornet has taken out a tanker going to guns to do it. And U.S. Central Command out with a statement about the incident saying, quote, American forces issued multiple warnings and informed the Iranian-flagged vessel it was in violation of the U.S. blockade. After Hazan, that's what the ship was called, crew failed to comply with repeated warnings. U.S. forces disabled the tanker's rudder. Hazan is no longer transiting to Iran. So the F-18 went to guns, raking this unloaded Iranian oil tanker's rudder while trying to run the blockade en route to Iran. We don't know where she came from right now. It's not the first unique kill in history. Recall that F-22 that took out the Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina a few years ago. Now, that Super Hornet launched from the 4-acre flight deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln on station in the Arabian Sea, enforcing the blockade. There are 3 squadrons of Rhinos, as Super Hornets are also called, aboard Lincoln. Top Hatters, Black Aces, and Vigilantes. While top U.S. officials insist the ceasefire is holding, recall General Kane saying Tuesday U.S. forces have come under attack more than 10 times in the past month. One day after Project Freedom was announced before scrapped, Iran fired a missile at a French-owned ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz after the French sent its only aircraft carrier through the Suez Canal and into the Red Sea. So as we await Iran's response to the American proposal to have Iran scrap its nuclear program, hand over all of its enriched uranium, and open the Strait of Hormuz, it appears China wants a piece in the negotiations, hosting Iran's foreign minister 1 week before President Trump heads to
We got to say
Beijing.
goodbye to YouTube.
So right now,
Bye,
there's
YouTube.
more than
Go to
1,500 ships that remain stuck in the